Okay, continuing on, this is question 4, the quadrature of the rectangle. So the idea is that we have some rectangle. Let's see if I can do a rectangle. Okay, so we've got a rectangle, and let's say it is A by B. The idea then is creating a square of the same area of this rectangle. This is what the quadrature of the rectangle means. And so what we do is we first, so that looks like around A, and then we add on to it B. So we go there. Okay, so we know how to transfer length, so we can create a straight line segment of length A plus B. And then we just bisect it. And let's say we get bisected here. Here's the center of that segment. And then we get our compass, put our compass point here, and then we go ahead and, draw a semicircle. And then we do a perpendicular here. And the idea, the claim then that this x here, the claim is x equals square root of AB. Okay, why is this so? Well, we just turn things into triangles. And if we do that, then we've got two right triangles here, and we've got a right triangle right there. And let's say this is length C, and this is length D. What do we got? We got A squared plus X squared equals C squared. We've got B squared plus X squared equals D squared. And we've got C squared plus D squared equals A plus B squared. Okay, and so then we can just replace this C squared by A squared plus X squared, and we can replace D squared by B squared plus X squared, and we multiply out A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. You see the B squareds cancel, the A squareds cancel. We've got 2x squared equals 2ab, so we can divide through by 2, so we get x squared equals ab, and so indeed x equals square root of ab. Okay, and let's finish off with some looking at some language. So what do these language facts tell us about sort of the origins of counting? And so this is kind of looking at maybe mathematics this is one way of looking at prehistory, or what's happening with language. So in the first one, we're comparing English to Russian. I guess I should have also gotten used to doing a third language. That would have made it clearer what kind of the trends were. But the main thing I kind of wanted you to see is kind of like how for 1 and 2, everything's kind of irregular, right? So each word, there's got a distinct word for each different concept. But then things start getting regular. So particularly if we look at 5 and 6, they're totally regular, right? So that's 5, 5th, 5th, 6th, 6th, 6th. So those words come from the word for 5 and 6. Like the 5th, this second F there is kind of understandable because there's some connection between these and F's. And the same thing kind of happens in Russian. We've got the Russian word for 5 and 6, and they go into the ordinal numbers and the fractional parts. And then we see that 3 and 4 are mainly regular, but they're not quite as regular as 5 and 6. So I know this tells us that these higher numbers probably came later than the earlier numbers, and there's something going on how the ordinal numbers and the fractional numbers, fractional parts, are basically the same word. Okay, so there's some connection there. Okay. So the part B, we've got for 4, we've got only one remains. So where can that come from? So my guess would be that there's something happening with 5, right? There's something happening with the hand. So this is base 5 maybe, and the people here, these people here are counting with a hand. And if you think about it, there's 2 different ways that you can count to 5. And so if I hold my hand up, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can sort of spread your fingers out as you do it. And then another way is you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You put your fingers in. And this is actually one thing that anthropologists do when they sort of classify different cultures. Cultures count things in different kind of ways, and so you can find relationship between cultures if they do say they count the same way, they have various customs that they do. And the last bit there, the tally, comes from the French word to cut, and so this comes from sort of counting. So you have a stick or a board of some kind, and you have a knife, and you count by making cuts in the stick. And this is probably for some process for counting. So you can kind of think, well, why would they need to do this? So it's probably something work related, whether you're a shepherd counting your sheep, or it's something where you need to keep some sort of accounting going. So this is sort of proto-accounting. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting exercise. And so that's our assignment.